Yep, Coach Clark here with you for our second round technically of Marvel
Yeah,
Rivals.
yeah. Second round. Both of our teams got a first round bye, so both teams are actually playing right now or getting ready to start playing. So USC Sumter has two teams in the NJCAA Open Series playoffs, or opt-in tournament, but it's basically the first time Marvel Rivals has been in
Yeah,
the league. So this is going to be a lot of solid teams. There's over 30 something teams, almost
hmm
40 teams, I think, in the bracket. And USC Sumter goes up against MC3,
yeah,
which is Montgomery County Community
yeah,
College. I
yeah.
think that's it. So I like MC3.
I
I
like
like how
MC3.
they named that. So
It's a nice little
um,
touch on it.
or M3C. I don't remember exactly what it is, but yeah, very good to hear that, and we are here um, on on play for USC Sumter versus MC3, and we should be getting started soon. They are selecting maps and going through everything. There was like a glitch in the specific settings, or the settings potentially changed within customs, um, and it went a little haywire there as far as some of the rule sets. But everybody's able to get that worked out, and we're going to be making it work here as we go into the matchup. Um, USC Sumter comes in the season. Um, may need to pull that up actually. USC Sumter's team one comes into the regular season, coming out of the regular season, I should say, at 8-0
Yeah,
on the season, and they are going to be uh, going up against a team that is coming out of the regular season at 3-3. So USC Sumter on paper has the advantage there. Also, if you look at the rankings here, you'll see USC Sumter maybe has the edge on rankings. Now, the ranking system did just reset
uh-huh.
recently, so everybody's ranks are a little bit um, out of norm. I believe some of these players, I know on our team, were up in celestial rank at one point in time last season. All of our players,
Yeah.
and I would expect some of those players on the other side are capable of higher tiers than what it shows right now, as
Mm.
well for MC3.
Yeah, everybody got set back 3 tiers. So if you were Celestial at the end of last season, you got set back to Plat. If you were GM, you got set back to Gold. Um, so a lot of these
So you
players
diamond
are,
if eternity.
yeah.
Because I
So
haven't turned on my account yet, so
yeah, well,
I went from eternity down to diamond, I guess.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Dang. I didn't
It's
check it
tough.
out yet, you know?
Yeah.
That Eternity Spider-Man.
I mean, I've yet I be haunted to see. Uh, but
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it's totally not happening.
But honestly, Mango is
I
gonna
have
be,
0 hours in this game so far.
yeah. But
My
Mango is gonna
account
be
is
interesting.
used only for spectate. That's all. I haven't even played a quick play.
We
Anyway,
just we just gotta we just gotta get the account up.
I gotta just break the seal,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And we just make the grind, the
Yeah,
climb.
I just need to do it. I
Yeah,
just haven't.
all
But
good.
either way, yeah. So what do you think we're gonna see here? How do you think the matchup's gonna go? It looks
Um,
like maybe first map is Yard
yeah,
or Yog
Yigzard. I
Yigzard
don't know how to
Yig
say that name.
Yig
Uh,
Yig
Yig
Yigsgard.
Yggdrasil Path. That's all I know.
There
Is
you go.
Yggdrasil Path. So convoy, so escort for those from Overwatch. Um, it's going to be interesting to see as far as, again, the teams look relatively even. Again, gold and silver, but again, you got to knock that back up to diamond and GM at the end of last season. And Mango, I don't know if Mango was has just been grinding this season, but if they got knocked back to Diamond 2, that means that they were eternity at the end of last season. So definitely going to be some characters and players to watch coming out from MC3. So I'm going to be pretty excited to see this. It looks like we're just trying to decide on some lobby settings here and just ironing things out. Like Coach Chris said, after that season update,
What do
some
you
things
think
got
about like
changed
some
up.
of the changes from the update? Like losing out on like some players becoming better or not as good, blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
the team ups and the swaps. I think that we're going to see a lot of. Um, I'm going to see expecting some Hulk bans because that team up got swapped a little bit. I'm probably expecting to see some either Doctor Strange, probably Doctor Strange bans because that team up with Scarlet Witch is pretty devastating as far as damage output. I've seen a lot of teams using that since the update.
Okay.
Other than that, it kind of just is going to be dependent on what our teams want to run as far as like dive. Again, after every single update, especially update is massively changing as this one to the meta. Teams are still kind of trying to figure out like how everything's going to evolve. So at the beginning of the season, you're going to see comps kind of just everywhere, and then by the end of the season, we'll see some comp, like probably like one or two comps. Like at the end of last season, I know it was a lot of Groot, Winter Soldier, um, and then that Adam, Mantis, and Star Lord team up. So we'll see. I'm excited to see with the season change, and especially whenever they start to do uh, what is it, Ultron, when Ultron gets released. That's going to be interesting to see because they've kind of leaked the characters
Yeah.
for him or the abilities, and he looks like he's going to be a flying support.
Fair.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Might see some flying comps, um, which is scary to think of, but
Yeah. I
we'll
mean,
see.
that is kind of crazy. I don't know. I'm kind of laughing at a couple of these players' names.
Yeah,
Lil Jim Bob.
Little Jim Bob.
I like it. But
I do
also, I
too.
think Mr. Magic's name used to be Left Arm Larry or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah.
So,
Did a
um,
name change on that one.
yeah, so a little bit of different there. I think everybody else's is the same. This must be
I believe that is trying to think of.
Jalil's.
Huh? No, Jalil's is love.
Oh, yeah, okay. Then that is
Um,
Ayani.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm trying to remember what was the name before.
I have no idea. I'm
Can't
bad with
remember.
names.
I am too. I'm terrible. So, but yeah, it's
Not
gonna
sure
be
why this
interesting
is
to see.
taking forever, though.
Huh?
Not sure why this is taking forever.
Um. So it looks like again with the season, uh, that season update. Sorry, we're just reading through what our coach is relaying to us about why we're having a delay.
Yeah, we're trying to learn about the delay. So, with that being said, as soon as this goes,
Yeah.
we've kind of talked your ear off a little bit. Don't want to run out of things to say or need water too fast.
Yeah.
So, we'll put you on a quick delay, figure out what's going on, and we'll be right back with some more action soon.
Yep.
See you in a moment. All right, and we are back. And I think basically what happened was with the going into how you're supposed to do picks and bans, you're supposed to be on competitive, and when you go in, you're supposed to do two bans and a save. And for some
Yeah.
reason, competitive settings have changed it now to where there's only bans,
Huh.
and we don't know why, and everybody's kind of wondering why. And there's also now a tournament setting in
Yeah.
there, and the tournament setting gives you two bans or three bans and two 3 bans and a save, or 3 bans and 2 saves, or something like that. So
okay. So no saves.
so
just
nobody was sure
bans.
what to do, but everybody or the NJ decided we just go with the bans. No saves.
No
you go with
saves,
competitive
just
mode
bans. Okay.
and
Interesting.
no saves, just bans.
Okay.
So, with that being said, looks like we got Wolverine ban, Groot ban,
Sorry, it looks like so we have Groot,
Loki, and Spider-Man.
and Spider-Man. The Spider-Man is interesting. I don't know if MC3 just had a bad experience with the Spider-Man. Don't get me wrong, in the hands of a great Spider-Man, can take over lobbies very hard. But I'm kind of curious about why a Spider-Man ban, especially with things like the Hulk, Namor, Strange, Wanda, which it looks like is what we're going to be going with. Again, just a reminder for those tuning in, with the new update, Emma Frost is on. Interesting. So Emma Frost is banned for playoffs, so we will not be seeing any Emma Frost for the NJ playoffs for the entire playoffs. So again, new characters are banned for 2 weeks, which is what's going to take for the NJ playoffs. So they just went ahead and banned her.
And it looks like we got Stop Looking At Me in the chat. Welcome back.
Let's go.
Old alumni there.
Big
Living
hype.
life. Time to lock in. Yes, it is. You are correct.
Yep.
Remember, if you
It
ever
is.
want to stream, you could always jump in Discord remotely with me.
Yep.
Just keep that in mind.
It is single elimination for this tournament, right?
It is.
So no mistakes.
No mistakes allowed.
Yep. And it looks like USC is going to go for a standard hold here. Nothing crazy. But we do have the Punisher with the team up, and Poppy going big with that team up and just trying to push MC3 back into their spawn. Looks like Mr. Magic did a little flank to begin with, but now with that team up down, it's going to have to just kind of fall back, wait until cooldowns are back up, and MC3 is trying to get back around the point. So USC doing pretty standard stuff here. We do have the triple DPS solo tanking, so ooh, really dangerous there from Mr. Magic. Does end up going down on him, Poppy, so USC does need to be careful. Does come back from the rocket respawn, so it is still 6v6, thankfully for that rocket respawn. But Squirrel Girl ult does come out for MC3. Can be very dangerous, but USC immediately destroys that. Doesn't want to play around with that at all. And Poppy does end up going down again to Magneto, but we do have ult come out from Abram as he's just getting a lot of damage down. Good healing out of MC3 for this to keep them all alive. And Invisible Girl ult does come down just to save Love just in time. But we do have Scarlet Witch ult coming now. Does end up getting the rocket Hell Beetle. So, but USC with the trade on to Doctor Strange. But with that being said, MC3 does get 2, but USC does get the trade back on 1. It is just the Magneto, Scarlet. But Magneto ult coming out. It's going to be searching as Ume-Tree does try to get 1, but does end up falling. So pretty good first push there for MC3, all things considered. And Poppy does have the ult for that Punisher, but
that super late or super long spawn just wasn't
Yeah.
able to get back up there and get in that fight. It was pretty much lost once, every player went down. That was all you wrote. No backup was on the way.
Yep. And Doctor Strange didn't have enough time to do that portal, but we do have the ult coming out here from the Punisher. Does end up getting 1, but there is the Cloak and Dagger ult, but it doesn't look like the rest of them are going to be able to push forward it. And USC does end up pushing them back, trying to get the pick onto those last few. Cloak and Dagger should die here. Not exactly sure if USC is going to allow. Does end up getting that one. All right. And just starts to back out there. Not going to be able to get kill onto Lil Jim Bob on that Mr. Fantastic. So, Magneto dangerously low. And we do have,
Got deleted.
yep, Psylocke ult coming out. Does get 1. As USC does end up getting the pressure still. But we do have 4 ults for the side of MC3 to USC's 2. So USC going to have to be very safe here when it comes out. USC does end up using the 1 ult as, yep. We do have, the rocket does end up falling, but Dr. Strange is cut off from the team, but does end up getting back to that invisible woman ult. So USC just trying to back up here while they can. Ooh, that damage coming out for our Scarlet Witch team up is very devastating. It's going to have to force the rest of MC3 to fall back. USC trying to just come out of this spawn here, but is kind of getting held in 2 different spots. So going to have to try to force their way out one way or the other. Looks like they are going to decide to maybe go top here. Yeah, does look like they're going to go top. Do have the rocket ult to try to help them get out and retake this point. There it is. And with that new buff, the rocket ult does end up healing more and give...
Strange ult come out.
Ooh, Strange ult does come out. I think it got 1, but and Poppy does end up falling to that Magneto ult as Dr. Strange does get the play, and then that Scarlet Witch ult with the 2, so USC does end up falling here. So 2 minutes, now 3.5 for MC3 to be able to push this last point. And with all things said, they are doing a really good job of pushing here. They still have the Cloak and Dagger ult for this next fight. USC trying to get close to the Psylocke and the Punisher ults. Also probably going to have Mr. Magic's ult here. Trying to get the pick on Dr. Strange if they can, but USC not going to be able to with that. Oh, they do get the pick on the Invisible Woman and Magneto from that Psylocke ult. Very nice out of Ume. But that Scarlet Witch just doing devastating work in the background. And we do have the Cloak and Dagger ult coming out for USC to be able to try to push back here. And it does look like they're going to be able to get the remaining members of MC3 and be able to make a solid hold here. So with that being said, 2.5 minutes still for MC3. And they do have those 2 ults coming in for them.
I think USC Sumter's going to need to maybe hold ults here if they can in this next fight.
Yeah.
So they can force the ults to come out from the others first and try to...
There's the Mr. Fantastic ult. So USC going ahead and backing up. But trying to stay alive. And they do have the Strange portal coming out to try to get a pick. But no, doesn't happen. And Mr. Lil Jim Bob gets the pick onto Punisher. And Strange ult does end up getting several, but nobody dying yet. As I say that, Dr. Strange does go down, and it is, but does get rezzed by the revive. Punisher ult coming out here from Poppy. So trying to push back, trying to take that space.
Ult coming out, gonna need to see maybe a counter there with the Dr. Strange ult that we have at some point.
Yep. Ooh, does get several with that Dr. Strange ult. Huge out of love there. Trying to just clean up those remaining people. So very nice ult there from Love on that Strange.
Magneto gets an ult now, and USC Sumter's gonna be decent in their ult farm, and also economy. I think they're pretty close and even, so next fight should have multiple opportunities. Ultimate coming out from Ume.
Yep, does get the one onto that Scarlet Witch. And also the follow-up kill on Mr. Fantastic. And Magneto ult coming out, see if he gets a pick on anybody with that. Doesn't seem like he did, as Ume trying to get the picks. There is that Rocket team up, but just pushing them back. As we do have the Cloak and Dagger ult coming out, but Rocket Raccoon ult following it up to be able to keep USC alive against support ult for support ult. Just doing a little domino effect here. USC just going to back up, give a little space, a little respect here, and try to, does end up falling there, but is going to have to revive to be able to come back, as we do have the Cloak and Dagger ult coming out. So USC trying to push here. Again, 30 seconds. This is pretty much the last fight. Shannon does end up getting, huge Eye of Agamotto there, as it does look like MC3 is going to be able to clean up. Unfortunately, Ume might be able to touch here for a second, but just probably going to, immediately die. It's not really much you could do there in that situation. Does end up taking the clock all the way down. It was 4.5 minutes, going into that last push on that third tick. So all things considered, did take it to no time left. So again, probably would have liked to see a little bit of a better hold coming out of the beginning, but considering 4.5 minutes on the clock, not bad for USC to be able to stall for that long, to be able to take it. Obviously, would have liked to stop them.
Just came down to ult economy right there at the end.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, not that USC Sumter didn't need to use the ults that they did when they did, but it just came out to that at the end of the round.
Yep. So we are going to be seeing, see if there are any changes. Doesn't look like any changes coming out for MC3 here, but Mr. Magic is going to switch over to that Hella. Very, very devastating character if you start getting those headshots.
30 seconds before you attack.
USC going to still stick with the solo tank going into this attack here. So again, not going for the traditional 2-2-2, which again, every team has their thing. I've seen 3 tanks, 3 supports. I've seen a lot of triple support comps coming out, but everybody has their own thing. Again, it's Marvel Rivals. There's no role lock, so everybody kind of has their own thing that they like to do. So we'll see.
What do you think the strongest is right now?
Right now, I'm not too sure. I know that triple support was just like super strong, but I think that 2-2-2, if you have the right comp, can be pretty devastating. But I think that's... Is that a Mr. Fantastic coming out from Poppy? It is. Okay. So USC just trying to look for some chip damage right now, see if they can build up their ult economy. Both teams kind of doing this, just trying to build up that ult economy just so they can be able to win this first fight. But USC doing some pushing with Love going dangerously low. Does end up staying alive. Mr. Magic does get the pick onto the Mr. Fantastic. As and Poppy looking for Dr. Strange is going to get him pretty low. And the Cloak and Dagger ults for both teams coming out. So both teams going to try to just build up some ult economy during these support ults. Nobody's probably going to die here for a quick second. But both of those ults have gone out now. So Ume with the Psylocke ult coming out now. Pure Chaos coming out for MC3 does end up getting the pick onto 1, and 2 do go down, but Ume with the trade back onto 1 as USC lost both healers, so gonna have to just reset. Go ahead, head back. All right. But with that being said, 4 ults for USC here coming into this next fight versus the 2 tank ults for MC3. So USC should be taking this point here in the next 30 seconds in the next team fight. So just going to try to look for some chip damage. They need to try to do this quickly before the supports from MC3 can go ahead and build up their ult economy again. They do get the Magneto super low as USC just needs to try to go. As Ume does get the pick onto the Magneto, but Shannon gets the pick onto the 2 supports of USC, so USC no longer going to have any healing here. They are going to try to still keep pushing here, but again, with no healing, it's going to be pretty hard. I'd say that as Mr. Fantastic ult's just going to be smacking them in this corridor for right now. But Ume does end up going down, and so isn't Poppy here in second. Yep, so very devastating coming out from MC3.
I'm not so sure I like the just one tank.
Yeah, it's I mean, with the Mr. Fantastic, he's kind of like a pseudo tank, but yeah, it's going to be hard to, especially on these pushes. But again, USC trying to do their best here, but again, close to only a minute left, so we're going to have to start to do something here soon. Cloak and Dagger ult coming out, try to push back MC3, but there's the Cloak and Dagger ult coming out for MC3. So again, nobody's really going to die for the next few seconds. Ume with the Psylocke ult into a support ult. Not going to get any kills. Interesting time to use that ult there. As USC is just kind of dying now. USC just need to fall back to spawn. They have 40 seconds left. Really going to only be like 30 by the time that they can really respawn and get back in it. So, and only the 1 ult. Maybe try to look for a portal here. Yep, here it is. Love's going to be looking for the portal. Probably a portal ult. And it is just the one ult from Scarlet Witch, so USC going to try to do something here, but Ume does end up getting pushed back. Agamotto coming out from MC3, and they do end up, the Agamotto does come out from Love. It's just a little late. I think he got pushed back.
You use it at the same time, but yeah, that's going to be it for USC Sumter.
Yeah.
On map 1.
Yeah, really strong first map for MC3.
Yeah, for sure.
Final score, 0,
I don't know.
2, 3.
MC3's got a couple different teams in here.
Yeah, that was pretty strong coming out for MC3. So I don't know. USC is gonna have to be. Yeah, they're gonna have to take a second, maybe going into this next one, and just talk about it. Again, Love doing a ton of blocking, but I mean, there's almost so much
I don't
damage
think
blocked.
one tank is it.
Yeah. Again, healing for both teams about the same. That block damage for MC3, I mean, that's about 30,000 more. So, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, the damage for USC was higher. It's just those higher health pools on those tanks can allow the supports to heal up more and to be able to get those support ults faster.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see going into this next one. Again, I think it switches over to domination. So the control maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't taken a look at the rule set for NJ's rivals. So
yeah, I'm not 100% sure either.
But we'll see going into this next one. Again, very strong showing here for MC3. Again, that Scarlet Witch team up just absolutely devastating with the Doctor Strange. Again, might have to look at taking that off the board for them. Again, I know that Love is a very strong Doctor Strange, but I mean, he's Lord Doctor Strange, but I don't know. We'll have to see going into this next one. So, and I think we are probably about to be getting into it. Coach Oni is going to be looking for to see if the other team's ready, and then we'll be hopping in. But yeah.
Yeah, just waiting here.
So, yeah. USC just going to have to try to coordinate a little bit better on these targets and who we're going for.
Yeah, I think that
things to
is
clean up.
boiled down to is probably focus on who's what, when.
Yeah. Just some things to clean up, but nothing that we can't fix and bring into the next one.
That's right, and it's a best of 5, so.
Yep. Yep. So it looks like we are going to be getting into this next one. So, and I believe it's going to be domination. Not too sure though. Shin Shibuya, I apologize. It is not. It's Convergence. So, not the biggest fan of this map. There are other maps I like a little bit better, but I don't know. It is what it is. So, we'll see. We might see some different bands coming out here for both teams. Mainly USC. I don't know. That Scarlet Witch was pretty devastating, but I don't know. So it looks like the group ban is going to come back out. Maybe, in all honesty, they might have information that we don't know about. There might be a group player, Mango or Shannon, might be a very strong group player, so that might be why we see the Groot. Again, into last season, Groot was very strong tank at cutting off teams, especially in that high competitive play. So I understand the ban. but we'll see. So it looks like USC is going to be banning that Scarlet Witch, understandably so. Was pretty scared to go against, and USC is not afraid of pulling out some other characters. Looks like Rocket Band coming out for MC3 though, so understandable with that new change. His healing has
The
gone
right
up
heroes could make all
pretty
the difference.
significantly, and very hard support to kill with those double dashes. So I do see a Hawkeye for a little Jim Bob. Decided not to go for that, Mr. Fantastic. Just kidding. Not sure. Might see a Squirrel Girl. Yeah, probably more likely to see a Squirrel Girl than a Hawkeye. Again,
Definitely gonna see a Strange and Magneto for sure.
Yep. I think that comp has been in the game and meta since the game first came out. Like that combo pairing of double shields is just
Yeah,
so
we're
strong.
still choosing not to.
Yeah, I'm gonna be curious to see if we have any portals coming out for MC3.
Stay strong.
Oh, actually, we're attack. Sorry, I'm gonna be curious to see if we have any portals coming out for from our Doctor Strange. So a lot of teams like to portal up behind the teams on this first point, just because it is pretty hard to break out of this first point and cap this first point with the other team having the high ground. So we might see a portal behind. Not too
The
sure.
battle starts in 5.
Ooh, we do have a Thing coming out instead of Doctor Strange for defense. Thing
You have to
very
stop them from
devastating
securing the mission area.
with that new team up. Not team up. Is very strong with that ultimate, especially on this first point. Can be pretty devastating in these close quarters at just knocking down that HP. So be curious to see. But Mr. Magic is going to be playing the Hella into that Flame On. I don't know why I can't think of his name, but it doesn't matter because he's already dead. So again, yeah, Human Torch, thank you. So again, just a very solid matchup for Hella to be able to go into. Probably going to be seeing a swap coming out off of that.
It's already swapped.
Yep, yeah, knew that was going to happen. Can't play that into a good Hella, and Mr. Magic is a fairly good Hella. So going to be just sitting up on that high ground, just poking down, as USC is probably going to be looking to get this first point after first push. Awesome. Love to see it.
Did Punisher get a buff?
I don't think he necessarily got a
I don't
buff.
really feel like he's like that high tier, right?
No, he's not necessarily high tier, but especially with that shotgun, which is what it looked like he had
Yeah.
on that fight, can just
Right.
erase tanks. So I think that's mainly what happened there. Almost has ult here on that 75%. We do have ult coming out from Cloak on our side, as Love is going to be pushing them back. But counter ult coming out for Invisible Woman. USC just going to go ahead and back up here. As Squirrel Girl ult does come out, but immediately shot. Love to see that coming out for USC, not allowing any damage to go down. But Ume with the Psylocke ult in the back, trying to get one, but those shields coming out are going to be able to protect them. But Mr. Magic going to be able to get the pick onto the one tank, two tanks. 3 go down from Mr. Magic. He's going on an absolute tear right now. Love to see it, as he is just pushing them back, and USC just going to be holding this corner here, making sure that MC3 cannot get back for any touches. Well, with that being said, MC3 does have the 3 ults, but to USC's 4, so going to be looking for several ults to come out for both sides here in this next team fight. Ume with the pick onto the one in the back, but Agamotto does come out along with the Cloak and Dagger ult. So USC does end up losing 4. Mr. Magic probably going to, after this Hella ult, see if he can get out. Nah, just go ahead, reset, fast way back to spawn. But so USC still with 3 ults to MC3's. Actually, they're going to have 3 with this Invisible Woman ult and probably Hella in this next fight. But we do have Portal coming out from Love here, so going to be interested to see where this is placed and how USC plays this. So MC3 knows the Portal's coming in, so they're going to be looking for it. USC trying to get the pick onto one, but nobody's going down into Magneto and Invisible Woman ult coming out. But Punisher is going to be able to burn through that Magneto ult to where he can't get any use out of it. Does end up getting the pick onto 2, so it is just that Cloak and Oh, Little Jim Bob is actually on Mr. Fantastic. Still alive, and it is just the one left on point. Pretty big stagger here coming out for MC3. Mango just now going down. So USC probably going to be able to cap this point because I doubt that MC3 is going to be able to touch here. So USC just kind of pushing up and holding a little bit further up. As Mr. Fantastical is coming down to be able to try to recontest, but Psylocke is coming down, does get the one, and get the other players low, as he is still trying to look for the back on the two supports. Does end up getting the one, love to see it. Only one more support left. He is trying to get that person down as well, and is going to try to just get out at this point. Oh, no, just kidding. He's getting healed, so he's just going to keep on going. Love to see it. I love Psylocke so much. So, USC firm control right now.
I think this game would make me mad to play.
Maybe. I was about to say, I just love playing Psylocke and just dive in the back line. I am a menace, and I love it. So, Little Jim Bob. Actually, we do see DPS swaps coming out for MC3, so we do have the Namor along with Moon Knight coming out. But Mr. Fantastic, or Mr. Magic, does have ult, so.
Do they take a hit on their percentage when they swap?
I think it gets. No, I don't think it gets hit like Overwatch does. So swapping characters doesn't get hurt as bad. So we do have the one ult coming out from Cloak and Dagger. USC probably going to try to just back up right now. Ooh, everybody's going dangerously low. But with that being said, again, USC didn't have the support ults to be able to counter support ult. So gonna just try to get back. Love, hopefully be able to get out. Yes, it does. So USC with 6 ults. All right. Again, got to be careful of when we use them. Make sure that we don't use them in any support ults, kind of negating that fact. But again, with 6 ults, they should be able to get a lot of pressure here. Oh, the Magneto counter to the Psylocke does end up knocking that one out. Mr. Magic does end up going down to Strange, and Ume does unfortunately use that Psylocke ult into a support ult, so obviously not going to be able to get any kills there. Going to try to just reset. USC still with 2 minutes on the clock, plenty of time to be able to make some pushes here. But unfortunately only do have 2 ults now, 2 DPS ults to the 3 ults for MC3. Mr. Magic does end up going down pretty early there. USC maybe have to just wait for him to come back, unfortunately. So just kind of staggering themselves. Yeah. USC just trying to build some ult economy here, but it's going to be dangerous into these ults for MC3. There it is, the Namor ult does end up coming down. Oh, on top of the Moon Knight ult. So it just absolutely devastates. So even though Mr. Magic does use Hella ult here, probably going to only get a couple and have to reset. So yeah, hopefully, yeah, it does end up going down as well. Hate to see it, but
I feel like we blew our opportunity with those ults that we had, and then the ult economy just went to them because of the way we had to use ours, unfortunately.
Yeah, Portal is coming out here, but it looks like it's starting to jump out.
Strange ult's gonna be devastating if it does it the right way.
Yeah, and then Poppy does go down pretty early. It gets the pick onto 3.
Yeah, that ultimate from Strange.
Yeah. So USC with Psylocke ult, Cloak ult, and probably Strange ult coming up here before the end of this. We do have Mr. Magic swapping over to the Winter Soldier. So USC going to just try to push here. Ume does use the Psylocke ult pretty early, but does get both tanks really low if anybody from USC could follow up. But there's that Cloak and Dagger ult, not going to be able to get any kills. Oh, the 2 from Magneto. No, you hate to see it. But again, that's just what Magneto does, is just saves ult to counter support ults. And Agamotto does come out for USC, does end up getting 2, does end up getting several for USC. And it is just the one Dr. Strange left, so USC should be able to get solid push here and hopefully be able to push up and hold some of the spawn doors so MC3 can't really make another contest. As I say that, Ume does get the pick onto one in the back off of spawn. So USC in firm control. It is overtime, so no more mistakes can happen now. But USC does end up having to get back as Ume is found out. And we do have no ults for USC to the 2 from, yeah. Again, it's just the ults coming out for MC3. They just had them online and USC didn't.
Yeah, just better ult economy.
Yeah.
The current score is
So
0-2.
again, push it pretty far, pretty much all the way to 3. So USC is going to have to try to do what they can to make a strong hold here, especially on this first point. Can't allow MC3 to take it on the first push. If obviously that you wouldn't want that to happen, but gonna have to try to make as strong as hold as possible. Again, MC3 showing last match that they are pretty solid on. Okay, they're messing with me. That is not going to be a Black Widow. I might lose full if I see a Black Widow. So in Poppy on the Namor, Mr. Magic is going to be playing that Winter Soldier. Sorry, I was looking at the cloak coming out of spawn, swapping characters.
Get ready.
So it is look like it's going to be a triple support coming out of MC3. It's really good. It's just super boring. I hate triple support. Nothing dies. So we are not going to have the double tank coming out for MC3, but it is triple support. And that is double snipers coming out for MC3 on DPS.
We'll do this the same way
Oh
we
my
always do.
gosh.
Together.
I hope they get full. Obviously, I'm partial to USC, but just all these tanks and the double sniper plus triple support, disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So, Lil Jim Bob does get the pick onto Ume pretty early here, playing that magic. So, gonna have to run back from spawn as USC does end up falling on the invisible one. I don't know if USC has one support still on there with the cloak and dagger, but already ult coming out for. Wait, I'm sorry. I thought that was a Hawkeye ult. It was not. As MC3 with a solid first push with that double sniper, triple support. So it's going to be able to take the point early on as they tried.
Well, and I will say USC Sumter capped the point pretty quickly in the first quarter.
Yep. My only concern is that Magic is coming out here for USC, but I just don't know how many more follow-up dives USC has. As I say that, does get the pick on the 2, and Hawkeye is coming out, so USC gonna have to fall back.
I still just don't. I don't know if one tank is the go. I'm not saying that's necessarily the problem. I don't know. These type of games, you need more than one tank.
Magneto ult. And there goes 3 for
If it was
USC.
5 players, one tank makes sense, but 6.
Yep. And double cloak and dagger ults coming out, so nothing probably going to die for the next 5 seconds. It's USC just trying to build that ult economy, but again, it was only 3 people for USC anyways, so they're going to have to fall back. Again, just wait for each other to come back.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. This is a really good matchup for, I mean, both teams. USC Sumter not looking the best at the moment. I hate to see their CC in against MC3 here. This is a best of 5, so I mean, it's only map 2, and USC Sumter still has a chance to hold them here.
Yep.
But gotta do something different.
Yeah, no, for sure. Gonna
I
have
mean,
to
if
switch
it's a
something up
comp,
as I say
if
that.
if it's a comp change, we gotta change comp.
Yep.
Comp archetypes, I should say.
Oh yeah, overall, for sure. But it looks like it is going to be USC up right now. As I say that, Hawkeye gets the pick onto Invisible Woman. So USC got to back up. Play safe. Only one support right now alive. As I say that, the other support goes down. So USC definitely going to have the backup right now as they have no healers up.
Never miss.
Yeah, as they are just getting chased down. USC just getting staggered right now. So hard by this Hawkeye. I hate this character so much. Sorry. I do. It's Hanzo incarnate. I hate one-shot characters. I say as I play Psylocke, but at least it's not just sit in the back line and one-shot. Alright, so we do have the magical. It is 4 ults for USC to the 2 for MC3. So USC should be able to make a pretty strong hold here for the next couple minutes. It is 4 minutes on the clock, so it is quite a lot of time. But that USC is going to have to hold here, but going to have to do what they can. As Darkchild does end up coming out for Ume. And there is a Poppy ult, but gets 2. USC do get 2, get 3, get 4. So USC do make the hold here. Love to see it. Awesome.
And maintaining some of that ult as well.
Yep. Still have quite a few ults online. Probably going to have the cloak.
They're going to have 4 up shortly.
Yep. So it is going to be the cloak ult probably coming out for both teams here in the next couple seconds. And then USC is going to have to be looking for that Adam Warlock. Oh, no. As USC does end up using, again, both Cloak and Dagger ults do go out. So nothing's really going to die, but Lil Jim Bob does use res. Yep, and yeah.
Now he uses it.
Yeah, again, it's just one of those things, just a little too late. So, again, 2 support ults online for MC3. USC is going to have to try to come out here swinging hard if they want to be able to hold on to this map too and send it into overtime. Or to win it, sorry. So, one last fight here. Can't make any mistakes. As USC does go pretty dangerously low.
Ultimate's coming out.
Yep. Ultimate's coming out for both teams. Sorry, for MC3.
More ults coming out.
Yep. As if Poppy does end up getting picked, but Mr. Magic with the trade back. And so is Love. Love also gets picked onto 2. So it is 3 to 5. All right, so USC does end up making that hold there. Awesome, love to see it.
That was
And
impressive.
yep, and Magic does hold on to the ult. So USC with the 3 ults to the probably going to be Magneto ult for this next fight. Going to be curious to see. Hopefully,
USC Sumter can't get too aggressive and use all of their ults here because they're going to need it for the fight afterwards to end the round if they can hold.
yeah, gonna have to try to bait out that Magneto ult first. Ooh, but Darkchild does come out and gets huge at the back, as you love to see it. As Ume does get the pick onto 3. Trying to get the last one, but can't really chase that far. But USC will take that. Love to see it.
Sitting on a lot of ultimates, and that's the play that we needed to see there. So this could be the last fight of
Yeah.
the round right here.
Yeah.
If USC Sumter uses their ults correctly and sends them home and packing before they use all theirs. Ooh, Hawkeye goes down.
Yep. Love to see it. Awesome. As Magneto does get the pick onto 2, unfortunately in the back.
2 USC Sumter players go down as well.
But USC trade back at the back line. So Magic's still going crazy in the back, but there is the Cloak and Dagger ult coming out from MC3. USC needs to start using some counter ults here to make sure
Yeah,
they
I
stay
agree.
alive. Oh no, he goes down.
The strange ultimate in that last fight would have been the play to go. I think it needed to happen right away.
Just any ults. We still have 4 on lot.
Yeah, there's no reason there that USC Sumter should have lost that fight.
As Mr. Magic does try to go in, but just not going to be able to do anything. Does end up falling. As we do start to use some ults to try to get out of spawn here. As Doctor Strange does come out and gets it onto one, but Soul Bond not going to allow anybody to die there. So, yeah, then the Hell ult comes in.
I can't believe USC Sumter didn't use those ults in that first fight around that corner. I feel like Strange had multiple opportunities to stun there and freeze them up, and it would have sent them packing, but USC Sumter pretty much, in my opinion, kind of throws that moment. It was not good, and
it was tough.
yeah, it was a tough thing to see for sure there.
Yep. But USC, it is a best of 5, so we still have one more map to go. We all love a comeback story, and it all starts right here. Right here, right now. Again, I believe now we're going to go into domination because we did convoy, did convergence, so we are going to be going into this last one. Hopefully USC is going to be able to make some big plays, start their comeback right here, right now. All right. Again, that triple support comp, just nothing dies. Again, a lot of healing. And it's not even like it's that much healing coming out from that third support with that Adam Warlock. It's just with that soul bond that he has. He's still kind of almost like a DPS with the damage and just with the reses as well. So could be pretty devastating as we saw there. So USC gonna have to try to maybe make some changes. I'm not sure.
I mean, if they play like they played at that last fight, I mean, the last fight coming in when they were pushing in and they had no ults.
Yeah.
And they were able to hold with 3 ultimates on MC3 side. And then we had ult economy, crazy economy. 4 ults when they came back, and we went to fight, and I think we got a pick, so they were kind of thinking, we got this fight, we don't need to use ults, we can save them, and it was like, no, that was 30 seconds on the clock. You go ahead and burn, not all of them, but you burn what you got to do to shut down the rest of the team and stagger them. And unfortunately there, I think they maybe just got in their heads or something, and it just didn't go well.
Yeah. It's just USC is gonna have to. We're gonna have to look at something, make some, and it's not like we're playing bad. It's just like these 1 or 2 things that happens to. It's just the ults. It's coming down to these ult fights.
Yeah,
and
it really
USC
is just the ult economy. And honestly, we did a better job that map, or at least that part of the round. I guess maybe even map with our ult economy.
Yeah. It's tough.
Yeah.
So we'll see going into this next one. We do have a Wakanda band coming out for.
I don't know what's going on with the ads. Twitch is just living off us because we can't even use our partner status yet.
I know.
So, got to get that big money from the little people.
Yep, pretty much. So.
And it's K, by the way.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like we are going to be checking for both teams, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and get into this next round.
Yeah, headed into the next round. Going to be the domination.
All right. So we are going to go back to Yigsgard Royal Palace. feel like this map got taken out of competitive rotation and like ranked. So I don't know. But I'm gonna be curious to see some bans here coming out for both teams. Yeah, I'm telling you, the other team has to have like an insane Groot on their team. I don't know. These constant Groot bans, Mango or I'm pretty sure Mango is probably like a Groot main or something. So we are gonna have the Groot rocket bans again as we get ready to go into the next round of bans.
And I mean, it's a pretty good matchup here, but I feel like USC Sumter shooting themselves in the foot.
I like this ban for USC.
Yeah, finally the Magneto ban.
That Magneto.
It can stop countering the
Support
ults of the supports.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. A little respect on Mr. Magic's name with the Hella ban. Okay.
I'm alright with that because we can see Winter Soldier come back to the
Pick your
table.
hero.
Yep.
Or
Didn't seem to
villain,
do
I'm
bad
not
with
judging.
Winter Soldier.
Nope. But that does leave Wolverine on the table, and Lil Jim Bob says he's ready to pull the claws
He's
out.
locking in.
Yeah. So I'm actually
Gonna be very
scared.
disruptive.
I'm actually pretty scared
Yeah.
of this comp right now coming out.
Yeah.
With Thing, Wolf, BP, Winter
Yeah,
Soldier.
It's a little wild, huh? They're
They're
gonna go with. I mean, they've got nothing to lose here, so they can go with the individual support
Yeah.
or the individual tank. I apologize.
Oh yeah. So actually,
It's funny they get the Magneto ban. They abandoned the dual tank.
Always been a heavy hitter. You
Yeah.
Wonder.
I'm curious as to
Currently, I'm more interested in
neither
fighting
team's
against our
playing
common
that
foes.
Scarlet Witch that we saw earlier with the
Honor of best
Doctor
human
Strange
contact. We'll have to let
being
this
pretty
one stretch
devastating.
first,
So
then you're on.
not
The
exactly
battle
sure.
starts in 5,
I mean the team up's pretty
3,
strong, but
2,
both
1.
teams look like they know exactly what they want to do, and so we're gonna get into this one.
Got it?
And we do see Poppy on the storm.
I've
Love
battled
to see it.
enough
Ume trying to get out ahead, see if
Bring
that
on the gods.
he can get any chip damage early on going in here for this next round.
Hitting harder than ever.
So USC is going to opt to take that high ground. Does get the information that there is a Wolverine prowling about, but Thing is just going to be sitting there. Goes dangerously low, but the kidnap comes in. I think he actually got saved there by the Invisible Woman pulling him back, but Doctor Strange going dangerously low, but does end up getting healed back up. But MC3 with the early capture on the point. So USC just trying to fight onto the point. Do get the pick onto 2. 3.
Love solo
Yes.
gets leveled up, and Poppy goes down. But
Yep.
USC Sumter able to cap,
From one storm to another.
So
push him off.
a little 17% for MC3, but USC with the main control after that first team fight. So we do have Lil Jim Bob swapping back over to Mr. Fantastic off of the Wolverine. Kind of to be expected with that Invisible Woman being able to push him around, so understandable, but we'll see going into this next fight as Doctor Strange is going to be just kind of brawling it out, trying to get his blocking the other team from being able to come in, but Ume does end up going down really early on to the Winter Soldier, and Shannon does get the pick onto Poppy. We do have the ult coming out here for USC with the support ult, so going to be able to stall out this point. Almost to 50% now as Ume does come back.
I see Ume use the ult right away.
Yeah, but there's a clobbering time. I think actually got blocked by Doctor Strange there, so love to see that. So we do have the ults coming out for both teams. We do have Ume getting the trade back onto one, and Poppy does get the pick onto another. It's USC with a strong hold here. Love to see it. Still have 2 ults on board.
4 ultimates coming back, but that's going to push the team fight to happen with almost 100% on the clock. It's going to be
Yeah,
up
it's probably
to
going to
past
be
80.
Yeah, it'll probably be overtime. If MC3 does cap the point here, it'll be an OT at 99%. So
We would hope so, as long as USC Sumter does it.
ooh, we do have the Storm ult coming out early on. Gets the pick onto 2, canceling out the invisible one ult. Love to see it.
Not there yet, but trying to make some plays on the point. If they can stagger here, leave him up for a minute.
Yeah,
Just
just
put him
let
down, let him
live.
run around like that, send him back. But that may be it right there.
Nice.
I don't think there's another contest.
Love to see it. So.
And I
really
mean,
good.
ultimately, better use of their ultimates. Not to mention, also just overall, not really giving the chance for MC3 to come out with those 4 ultimates and get into the fight early. We just went in, ulted right away, knowing we had the time to our favor.
Yeah.
So it looked really good there from USC Sumter to get those 2 ults and stagger. But also, I mean, could this possibly be a change-up for what USC Sumter is doing here?
Yeah,
Now that they're
could be.
down to just 1 tank
Yeah.
comp on the other side, is that something that USC Sumter can counter with their 1 tank opportunity?
See, but there it is. There's the Doctor Strange Scarlet Witch team up that I was
Yeah.
talking about. That's going to be really devastating. But again, I think that last round USC did a lot more proactive ults, not using them reactively, waiting for the other team to use an ult before they use an ult. Like going in, again, the Storm ult going in, getting the pick onto 2 before that invisible woman ult could even come down.
Yeah,
so.
I would hope that they kind of relayed that to each other, like, hey, we've got to use our ults. We left a bunch on the board right there, and it cost us the game, or the map, I should say.
Yeah. So, again, already off to a really good start here, though. As we do have the Mr. Fantastic ult for MC3, but Mr. Magic does have the ult for Winter Soldier, so probably going to be looking to use that here soon. Mr. Fantastic does end up coming down as USC trying to get the...
Winter Soldier just doesn't come out.
Yeah, unfortunately.
USC Sumter's going to go down.
Yep. As we made tries to get the pick onto some, and then just drop. Interesting drop there. Gonna get reset. Big stagger.
Big stagger.
Not sure. It is what it is. So MC3 is gonna be pushing out, but USC is gonna use the portal from the Strange and catch MC3 off guard. MC3 was trying to push up.
You need to see an ultimate happen here after this. He goes, actually, maybe not ultimate needed. Magneto.
Yep.
Or
Nice.
comes out, and USC Sumter able to clean some stuff up without having to use much ults, just a support ult there.
Yeah, and USC's going to have 5 on the board for ult economy. Again, I think USC really caught them off with that portal.
We did actually see a Winter Soldier ult there.
Yeah, but again, USC did really good there coming out. Caught them completely off guard. MC3 had to fall back to point.
They might not want to hold ults here, though. It's still pretty early in this round. If they hold, they could get themselves
There's
into
the
ult
Storm ult.
advantage again. Ult disadvantage again. And ultimate's forced out from the supports there.
Yep, USC is going to have
Multiple ults coming out. All
Yep.
3 ults.
honestly, they should.
Yeah,
I mean, there's no real point to be holding ults here.
exactly.
Again, if USC is able to get all these picks, they're going to be going into this, probably going into OT 99% whenever
Yeah, again, that's what I was
MC3
saying.
comes out.
I didn't want to see them try to hold ults there, maybe lose that fight and then have to come back. It's like, use them, let's build our ult back up. We'll be at somewhat similar par with them. They'll have 1 or 2 ultimates before we do.
Portal coming out. So we are going to have the portal, and probably Invisible Woman ult coming out here
No,
fast.
she goes
She
down!
goes down!
That's
USC with
huge.
a big early pick.
That is huge. If they can win this fight here, they may win
Mr.
the
Magic
round.
with the pick onto another. USC looks like they're doing really solid here. Yeah, USC is going to take this map. Again, it starts with 1 map. Comeback starts with 1 map.
This could be
Love to see
another
it.
big stagger if they can get this one.
Yep, just need to go ahead and kill everybody.
Staggers and staggers.
Yeah, it's OT, push up, make sure nobody touches point. We are going to have the Psylocke coming in to try to, or Spider-Man. Yeah, but immediately goes down. So
Yeah.
USC, take map 3. comeback season. Love to see it. Awesome.
Absolutely. And I think they got to keep the Magneto off the board.
I would agree. I think those bans coming out for USC were huge there. I think they did really well.
Because if Magneto not on the board forces MC3 to play with just one tank because they're not comfortable with anything else,
True.
that could have been a
Yeah.
weakness that USC Sumter found.
Yeah. So, really good map 3 coming out for USC there.
Yeah,
Again,
absolutely.
much more proactive with the ults and not overly using ults. So, love to see it. Really great all around.
Yeah, absolutely. Good comeback to get it started. And with that being said, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with some more action momentarily. So stay with us and we'll be into map number 4 coming up soon. Be right back. And we are back going into map 4. USC Sumter has a chance to turn this
Reverse
all
sweep.
around. They started with one map,
Yep.
one round at a time. Let's see what we do here.
Again, hopefully,
Hopefully we're smart with our pick bans again.
yeah, I'd love to be able to see some.
I definitely think we've got to get that Magneto ban.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
All
Sorry
right,
for the
and
delay.
we had to take a pause. We had somebody knocking on the door. But either way, yeah, we are headed into map 4 and gonna see the same bands, the Groot and the Magneto. So not wanting any more of that tank situation, and that does make MC3 go back to a one tank situation.
Yeah. So they are going to have the.
Not to say that they're not good at it, but that maybe opens the door for USC Sumter to be a little more comfortable here again.
Yeah, and USC is going to be able to. Looks like with the double strange, or with the strange ban as well, it's going to be forced for both teams to go on a thing pretty strong on this map, especially on this first point with these close corridors.
Yeah, pretty crazy to see 3 tanks ban there.
Yeah. Yeah. For
What was
sure.
the other ban?
Groot, Mag, Strange. So like the big.
No,
three.
I meant the other.
Storm.
Storm
Yeah.
was the other ban. Yeah, I mean, Poppy was able to blow them up pretty successfully at times, so I see that one getting played off, and a good ban for MC3 there.
The series count right now is. We do have a call for a lobby reset? Question mark? Or maybe that was an earlier chat. My bad. But the series count right now is 2-1 in MC3's favor. Again, it is a best of 5, so first to 3. So USC is trying to make the reverse sweep happen right now.
Oh, actually, I think Mango disconnected, so they asked for a reset, or they asked if there should be a reset. But it looks like they're just playing it. So
Yeah.
they're not calling for it.
I'm assuming the lobby reset.
I don't know. It looks like both teams are still playing, so really not sure. Looks like only Blues is talking to himself, so I mean,
Yeah, nobody's typing.
nobody's typing unless they're saying something out loud.
Maybe they're saying something match.
I'm not sure.
I mean, with that being said, little Jim Bob's going to get the pick on the 2.
USC
But
Sumter's
yeah,
losing
then we're
out,
backing
so
out,
it looks
resetting.
like everybody's resetting, as Mango did disconnect there, and I guess everybody just decided pull out. Maybe didn't play it for real. We're just kind of
Yeah.
taking shots. So let's hope that's the case, because USC Sumter actually started to die 4-5 there.
Yeah, but I think it's just because
Everybody was
they
goofing.
whoa, everybody left. Oh, they're doing a full lobby reset. Okay, so but yeah, I think USC just kind of stopped moving and playing there.
Probably.
So shout out to the viewers in chat. We got Chaos.
No, actually, it's 2-1 right now. Frost in the, and the advantage is in MC3 side. So going into map 4 here.
Yep. Redox. Stop looking at me still. So shout out viewers. We appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yeah, tell your friends and family to tune in.
Yep.
We need more viewers here.
So we appreciate you all for tuning in. Again, hopefully watching USC as they are about to make their reverse sweep here
Absolutely.
in round 2.
What? Shannon.
Whoa, Shannon was on our team, trying to swap teams.
Yeah, then we swapped teams on them.
Whoa,
Yeah, everybody's on their own side.
we're playing a pickup game. Just everybody goes to a different team.
Yeah, may as well. Looks like we're going to be headed in pretty quickly here. Same bands. Everybody's just going to throw that up, and then we're going to be back in. So at least each team saw what was out there and know how this is going to play.
Yep.
As we move forward.
So, again, no teams are going to be able to be like, oh, they were playing this, we could ban that instead. So, nothing like that. We're going to keep the same bans. Probably the same picks, if I had to imagine. Not too sure. But, yeah. You're going to have the Storm Brute, then Strange Mag bans. Again, really liking these bans coming out of USC, like the forcing the other team onto hopefully the solo tank, because it looks like USC, when it comes down to the 132 comp, USC is kind of in favor there when it comes down to that. Wow, little Jim Bob. That's not what you banned. Swap it, little Jim Bob. All because of little Jim Bob.
The right heroes could make
Wrong
all
bands.
The difference.
It went through, right?
Yeah, but they
Oh,
banned
no,
Magneto.
They actually banned, so we have to restart again because they banned
because-
Strange before. So
I mean, both teams can just say neither. Like, we're not going to play Strange and just honor that. If we see a Strange come out for either team, gonna have some big issues. Yeah, just nobody played Doctor Strange. If you do, I don't know, you forfeit the round. I don't know. We'll see.
We'll be coming
yeah,
in
hopefully
30
it doesn't
seconds.
happen
Stay
by
strong.
accident for either team because that's going to be pretty toxic environment if it does.
Yeah,
Hopefully not though.
again, if we see a Strange come out,
I wouldn't know.
either team might have to
I'd like
forfeit.
to heal them.
I don't know. I've never seen a team not ban the same characters that they banned before. It's kind of weird.
The
So
battle starts in 5, 4, 3.
we'll see. But USC, again, both teams sticking with the same comps for the most part. It looks like. As in Poppy just going to set up the turret, get ready for the onslaught, get some early chip damage, some early ult economy, and hopefully be able to take down one. Does end up taking down the Squirrel Girl, so early pick. Love to see it.
Should get lifted up though.
Yeah, it does end up getting res, but that's a really early res, and that's a long cooldown for Rocket. So if that's a res out, then I mean, I would say worth overall. Ume with the pick onto the Punisher, so there goes down the first official player without it being res for both teams. So, and again, with the Loki ults, or with the Loki clones down, I mean, that's basically just more onks for Moon Knight to be able to hit. So, we'd love to see that for him. But, we'll see. Going to try to get the pick on one. Unfortunately, misses the hook there. And quick ult coming out here for both two players on USC's team. But Mango does end up getting the pick on 2. 1 as USC does end up losing 3. So gonna have to back up here.
Yeah, maybe not quite the best ults there. I feel like Helpy maybe was a little too separated when he ulted.
Yeah, I think the Cloak and Dagger roll just came down a little too far in front of the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Like that nobody was able to get into the trail of it. So again, USC with 2 ults.
I don't
still.
really know what happened with the Moon Knight ult.
Yeah.
Seemed like it kind of got deleted after.
Yeah, and Poppy gets the pick onto 1, but does 2 go down for USC as USC still kind of out here, but it's just that invisible woman able to stall, and the cloak and dagger ult coming out from the Loki with that copy, and Hell Beetle does end up falling, not able to get out. So MC3 does get to pick our first point. So
yeah, not really the hold you would like to see there. Not sure exactly what the next opportunity might be for USC Sumter, but don't want to see them sitting on these ults forever. They need to put them in play where they make sense and actually.
yeah, USC just needs to be careful around here. Hopefully not get picked too early. They're getting some early damage thrown their way. Going dangerous. Everybody's going dangerously low. I mean,
3 ultimates come out for USC Sumter.
somebody heal.
Getting any.
Yeah. Sorry. Moon Knight. Love does get the pick on 2 in the back, but 1 does end up getting res, as is going to try to pick up 1, but gets stuck, so CC'd forever, but is going to be able to be healed, so not worried about that, as
Just not finding anybody for USC Sumter here. I'm not sure if this composition that they have is working.
yeah. So we do have the Judge Judy coming out, so USC going to have to try to make some pressure here. Unfortunately does end up going down. Oh, my bad, that was the other Punisher's ult, but Ume does end up getting the pick onto them. So USC still trying to get the clean up the remaining members from MC3, as Love is going to continue to push forward here. As clobbering time does come out, and hopefully USC is going to be able to survive this, but Squirrel Girl ult coming out as well. So USC does have the Invisible Woman ult down, so it's going to be able to get a lot of damage out and be able to survive for right now. Hell Beetle is going to have to back up.
Low.
Yeah, just try to keep the supports up right now, but does end up getting picked. And there goes 4 down for USC. Love is going to have to just either try to reset. Yeah, just reset.
I feel like the Umi's ult needed to come out there in that fight. The Moon Knight ult might have just needed to happen.
Yeah.
And to help win that fight, and USC Sumter goes down. They're so squishy with just this one tank that's more of like an aggressive, just in your face kind of mess you up in the sense of what's happening on the front line. Doesn't really get to block a ton of damage for everybody.
There's
down
the,
as
there's
well.
Nothing's getting through now.
But 1 does get res, but 2 go down, or 3 overall. So USC with the man up advantage. Love to see the pick. Try to get the pick onto the rocket, as USC still trying to kill the one. Yeah, huge stagger there for USC. Love to see that, as it is closing in on a minute left for this last
Want to
push.
see this hold if they can, but
Miss
5
Magic gets
ultimates on the
Nice.
other side. They're going to need to take the fight to them and not let them get a chance for those ults if they want to hold here.
Yeah, and Poppy's gonna have to get a huge ult. Mr. Magic also has a huge ult potentially coming out here. And there's the Cloak and Dagger ult just to try to be able to push onto the point. And it is counter ult coming out.
Clobbering time stuns 3.
Yep. But the support ult's coming out, so nothing's gonna die. I say that as Poppy gets the pick onto 2. 1 gets res, but is able to get that damage down.
Hopefully they're calling out their targets here.
Yep. Good ults coming out for USC. Nicely
And
done.
that is well played there, because USC Sumter started that fight with 2 ultimates to 4
Yeah.
or 5 on the other team, and coming out with the victory on that and being able to push the cart back slightly as well. This is
Mango's
looking
gonna
good
have
for
to
USC
touch
Sumter.
here.
This is going to be headed to overtime
They're
with
gonna have
1 Moon Knight ultimate here.
They got to touch.
Yeah.
Like Moon Knight just
They
saves
do.
ult for cart and then just like it's OT.
Going to see
Just
the
ult.
ultimate come out.
Yep.
There
it
how
is.
it does.
As gonna be able to push everybody off the cart in that OT.
Not as likely as you would have liked to see it,
Yep.
unfortunately.
But Love does get the pick onto the Punisher, as we do have Mr. Magic gets the pick onto another.
We don't need to see our supports go down. That's going to be
It's dangerous, but
daggers.
Ah, no. 2 do end up going down. Ah, yeah, both supports down. Nobody is able to get healed, so.
We do have an ultimate here.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be able to use. They're just going to have to try to stall out for as long as possible. If they can get some 2 with the stun.
Yeah.
But again, going to die here.
Cloak and dagger. Somebody's going to be there soon.
Yeah,
I don't think that Moon Knight ult was placed where it needed to be, or it was held just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And unfortunate there. USC Sumter kind of had a golden opportunity to close that out on that first point. Now they've got to work just as hard again as they did before, holding them for so long.
Yeah. But again, only a minute or close to a minute now on the clock for this last push. So really only one real fight coming out for MC3 with a early cloak and dagger ult for USC, going to be able to try to push them off. Counter ult coming in for MC3, but USC with pick on the 3. Gets another pick, so that is going to be...
Oh, stagger on thing would be big here.
Yep.
He stayed in the fight. They've got 3 in the fight. They're keeping.
No!
Oh no.
Invisible Woman used the ult, but it ended up falling down anyways, so not going to be able to... Kind of a waste there, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I feel like Umi's ult came out too late.
Yeah. Does get the pick onto 1, but like you said, it's just a little late. So, but USC with the Hella ult into this next fight, along with the Punisher ult. So, no, we do have the support ult.
Early pick if they can.
For Rocket. Yep. USC gonna try to just do what they can. Judge Judy coming out for MC3, gets the pick on the
4 go down, and that is terrible news for USC Sumter. All 5 down. That is going to get the point pushed, and that is it for the first round of map 4. USC Sumter really got themselves to blame for that one. I mean, you got to give credit to MC3, but just slightly not all on the same page at the most crucial moments there when they needed to be. So holding them to overtime in both situations, but not able to close the door. Let's see if they could do better on attack. They do have to get there faster, hopefully, and then have a chance to pull this out.
Yeah, again, I'm just trying to think. It's tough, especially on these attacks and defenses with all this damage and no shields for either team, really. Just that thing, just trying to tank as much damage as possible. And again, with the limited healing from the 2 supports, I'm not sure. Love is going to switch over to the Thor, so going to opt to try to do a little bit more poke damage from USC here. So we'll see. Same comp looks like for MC3 here on this defense, but
and I really just think USC Sumter is their own worst enemy in this moment. They're just not being on the same page at moments when they need to be, and you know, just that one little bit of separation that they're missing, or the timing of their ults together, or or holding, or using too early. Hopefully it doesn't come back to bite USC Sumter, and they've still got a chance on this attack to force an overtime into their advantage.
So USC's just trying to get as much poke as they can down, but that Punisher turret being set up is going to be denying a lot of ability to for USC to be able to output that damage. Again, we do have, looks like 50% for Squirrel Girl. Again, both teams love going dangerously low there for a second, but it's going to be able to survive. USC slowly but surely pushing this cart until we get to this point here. So it's going to kind of stop right there, and that's the stun coming out from the Squirrel Girl. Going to root the Thor in place and then get killed. Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, the no shields, again, all shields are banned. Like, root, mag, strange. Nobody really going to be able to protect from all this damage output coming out for both teams. So if you get CC'd at all, you're kind of done for, whether you have a high HP pool or not. So USC's got to be careful here, because they are trying to, again, just look for any
get
post
the turret down. But gonna see an ultimate come out from that Punisher soon. I just feel it's coming.
Yep. And it looks like the support ults were about to come down, but USC with the pick onto 2. One is res, but there's the clobber in time coming out along with the Squirrel Girl, but does end up getting picked. So USC still with the man up advantage. As I say that, does get the pick onto Thing as well. So again, USC is in a favorable spot right now. They just need to, dangerous ult there for, I know I saw the play, but just a little too aggressive there, unfortunately.
Yeah, but that's the play we needed the last round. Instead of the slight hold
Both Invisible Women's using their ults. And Punishers as well, but unfortunately just too much damage coming down with that rocket ult as well. And USC with the 1 ult for Thing is going to be able to get back to the spawn room, but again, USC's got to be able to do something huge here. I say that, there's also the Hella ult, so can be a pretty devastating combo coming out here for USC. Might see a little bit of a flank coming out through this back left. Pretty dangerous though with a Punisher or a Thing here. So I'm not a huge fan of this push out here, especially against the Squirrel Girl as well. But USC, I don't know who the target that they're going for is.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see the Thing ult in combination there with the Hella, but
yeah, I
don't know.
Like, I know they wanted to try to get a flank there, but against this team comp, I don't know. Squirrel Girl with her ults as well might see that come down, or will see that come down in the next fight. Just hopefully going to see a huge Thing ult
This is
coming
do or
out.
die here for USC Sumter.
Yep. His Thing ult is going to be coming out. Does get 2. But unfortunately, they are being just healed up.
Yeah.
Love does get the pick onto 1, but USC, or MC3 does have that res, as USC's getting picked, unfortunately, and everybody's going down. And Mr. Magic swapping over to the Spider-Man to try to contest, but just not going to be able to touch, unfortunately.
No, and that is it for USC Sumter. They lose 3-0 on map 4.
Oh, yeah, 3-0 on map 4.
3-0 on map 4, and just
3-1
not their
overall.
day. I think had they chosen different bands and possibly just not had a couple moments where they goofed in critical situations, which separates you from those moments as you get into playoffs going up against good teams, which this obviously is a good team here.
Yeah.
It's just going to have one of those moments where it can cost you, and unfortunately it does for tonight. Just doesn't work out. So yeah, that 2-tank situation versus 1 tank in the first 2 rounds. It wasn't until round 3 that we decided to ban that Magneto, and we saw how close we were with the Magneto. And USC Sumter had some really impressive opportunities at other points to make some plays, but just couldn't quite pull it out. Good season overall. This is their first loss. Sucks that their first loss is in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But got some things to work on and come back next season and try to be stronger.
Yeah.
Just overall.
Yeah, and in chat, why no second tank is just because the group mag and Strange, even though the bans were messed up, Strange was banned originally, so it was a group mag and Strange ban. So both teams opting for the Thing solo support there. So
the tank, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so technically,
And
the
I think it really
Magneto
came down
Strange and
to
Groot.
MC3 having that triple support there
Yeah,
at the end.
yeah, I agree.
Just keeping everybody alive with the solo tank. Because again, like I said, with no shields, like it's a lot of damage coming both ways. And if you don't have that triple support for that extra healing for all that damage, it again, as we saw, it just you end up falling. And again, support ults obviously are some of the best ults in the game, so the more support ults you can have, the better. And it just came down to that fact, I think. So unfortunate, like you said, that first loss in the playoffs for the season, but
You know, you
it
can't
was
win
a
them
good
all,
run. Yeah,
and it just sucks that we lost in the playoffs. Couldn't make a little deeper run, but um, hopefully in the future we can do better, and we've got next season to try to bounce back. Hopefully have most, if not all, of our players back next season in the fall, so we can make another run at this potentially. But with that being said, USC Sumter goes down
3-1.
tonight.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get some information for all the teams that won. USC Sumter goes down 3-1 in the series tonight against MC3 rivals OS3. So honestly, they've got MC3's got 3 or 4 teams into the bracket here, which is pretty impressive that they've potentially got teams that are that solid across 3 different teams.
Yeah.
But also USC Sumter's second team goes down to Trinity Valley, unfortunately there, and both our Marvel Rivals teams are eliminated from the playoffs. I think we had 2 other teams playing tonight. That was our FIFA matches, and they are, unfortunately, they go, let's see, looking at the bracket here. Actually, I'm looking at the wrong team again. So I'm trying to give you an update on the teams that played outside of Marvel Rivals.
Well, I know we do have
It looks
COD's
like,
match tomorrow.
yeah, overall, it looks like USC Sumter lost 3-0. One of our players did in the FIFA tournament. Another player won 3-0. So we've got one player that continues on next week in FIFA. And then we have, let's see,
Smash.
Call of Duty and Smash tomorrow night.
Yep.
So gonna have both of those teams competing. Call of Duty will be going into the national tournament against Blinn Community College on at 8 p.m. tomorrow. So tune in for that, and that's the only game we're gonna have live on stream. So that'll be a good situation, good thing to see overall. Hopefully USC Sumter can pull it out against Blinn Community College tomorrow.
Yeah.
Going to be a good tight matchup, and we'll go from there. So that's what the schedule looks like coming up, and as tomorrow comes, we'll tell you more about the playoffs. Excuse me, gosh, coughed. We'll tell you more about the playoffs,
Yeah.
and how things are going there. And with that being said, this is Coach Chris signing out from the Anthill.
This is Coach Clark.
Y'all have a good night.